Hello and welcome to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. Now that we have the Operation Sports rosters, we'll get underway with this franchise and look to bounce back from a very disappointing 2016 season for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Andrew McCutchen had a very poor year for his standards, and he'll look to bounce back to his near MVP form and just continue with his regular ways of just being an absolute monster out in right field. Starling Marte proved that he could take over that center field spot, and Gregory Polanco showed a lot of promise. Looking at the rotation, Garrett Cole is our ace. We got some very talented pitchers in Jameson Taillon and Tyler Glasnow. And our bullpen, although it's lefty heavy, it looks like it's going to be very solid this year. Our lineups, we got a lot of firepower at the top of the lineup, but the bottom has some left to be desired. We have a couple good youngsters in our team, including Alan Hansen and Josh Bell, but they'll have to prove themselves that they can actually succeed at the MLB level. Looking at our prospects, we got two in the top 10 with Austin Meadows and Alan Hansen. The struggle with Austin Meadows is where do we put him? We got Andrew McCutchen out in right. We got Marte out in center. We got Polanco in left. And I don't think he's going to really be able to take over any of those spots for a little bit of time. So do we trade McCutchen and let Meadows try and take over that right field spot? Or do we just trade him for a bat at the deadline and hope that we can get someone good? Another issue that we have is with Chung Ho Kong. What do we do with him? He has 3 DUIs in 3 different countries, and his work permit has been denied, so he's not able to play for us this year. So do we release him? Do we keep him and hope that next year he might be able to come back and play for us? I really don't know. Right now he's going to be stuck at the lower levels, and just hopefully we can see him back, or we might just have to end up releasing him. Looking at the rest of our roster, we got a little bit of depth. We got some prospects that we can hopefully bring up eventually, but it's going to take some development. One of the main people I was hoping to see was Kevin Newman. Unfortunately for us, Kevin Newman was rated pretty low for Operation Sports. I believe he was a 55 or something like that with B potential and only 23 years of age. And for one of the top prospects in the Pirate system, it seems a little bit low for an elite prospect like that. But we'll have to make do. Hopefully, players like Meadows and Keller will make up for that. But we're going to have to hope that those guys can prove to be valuable for future trades or just as a part of the organization moving forward. Other than that, our prospects are not too great. We don't have too many deep players, too much of a farm system, but hopefully we can make do. Looking at our budget real quick, quick allocation, we got decent amount of money. We're not one of the more rich teams in the MLB, but we certainly aren't poor either. Looking at some of our GM goals, I think we can make the postseason the first year. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but the Pirates have been pretty good. Other than a down year last year, they did make it in 2015. And if we have a couple bounce back years from McCutchen and Garrett, we could be very, very potent and right in that. Starling Marte in the leadoff role, his speed is just immense and can prove to be very valuable in a leadoff role. Just laying out singles, turning singles into doubles, doubles into triples, etc. I'm questioning what we do with Alan Hansen. I think at the beginning of the year we're gonna try and have Jordy Mercer play a little bit more, but towards the back end, I think Alan Hansen can hopefully take over that spot from him and prove to be a a very valuable piece moving into the playoffs. Um, One of the main things I'd like to accomplish is to try and get that back end of the lineup just a little bit better. I think that the front end of the lineup is incredible with Marte, Harrison, McCutchen, and Polanco. But after that, there's a lot left to be desired, and it's going to be important to see if any of those guys can step up. Otherwise, we might have to bring in a bat at the deadline. Um, and as you can see, we have Marte starting in center, McCutchen out in right, and Polanco in left. I think it's very valuable that we have a couple players that can play center field, and just the versatility if one of them gets injured. As we get into opening day, we play the Red Sox at Fenway Park, and opening day is always a really fun time of year. Hopefully, we can get a win against these incredibly gifted Red Sox. Best team money can buy. They traded for Chris Sale in the offseason, and we get to be the first team for him to test out. Um, we're going to hopefully be able to string a couple hits together. Hopefully, just play our game, and hopefully we can scratch out a win. It's going to be tough facing that lefty arm, but we're going to have to make a do. As we see Chris Sale warming up in the bullpen, Garrett Cole for us. Garrett Cole is going to have to be on his game today for us to have any chance, as Chris Sale is just incredible. Now, as we get into opening day, as the Red Sox take the field, we're going to take a look at the Pirates lineup. Starling, Marte leading off. We're going to have Harrison hitting second, McCutchen at third. We're going to have Polanco hitting fourth. After that, we have Josh Bell. I'm really hoping Josh Bell can break out this year. We got David Freese, Cervelli, Jaso, and Mercer. I'm not used to playing with a DH, but hopefully Jaso can hold that spot down, and hopefully he can get a couple good hits to prove that he's worth it as a DH hitter in some of these games. Taking a look at Chris Sale's numbers, just incredible. 3.34 ERA, 17 and 10. I'm guessing that'll go up a lot with a better team. He might be able to surpass 22 wins this year. Taking a look at the first inning, Starling Marte will go down to start off the game. Early on a changeup. Chris Sale's stuff already proven to be nasty. Later on in the inning, Andrew McCutchen will ground one to short. Ranging to his right side, Bogaerts will make a fantastic play and make a fantastic throw to get out McCutchen. Taking a look at the Boston Red Sox lineup, they got Pedroia hitting leadoff, Bogaerts hitting second, Betts, Hanoram, JBJ, and Benintendi hitting eighth. Their lineup is just stacked. You cannot get past one of their hitters without another good hitter coming up to the plate. And Garrett Cole is going to have to be incredible for that team to not have more than a couple runs. So let's hope he can bring his ace form that he did 1 or 2 years ago. And he's looking like he might bring it today. Striking out Mookie Betts on a high fastball. Later on in the third, Jace will go down looking at a high fastball off Chris Sale. Into the bottom of the third, 2 outs. The Red Sox, Justin Pedroia, will lace one down the left field line for a single, leaving 2 outs, but 2 runners on base. We really need Garrett Cole to buckle down to get out of this inning before anything more happens. Bogaerts coming to the plate. If he can replicate his form from last year, he's going to be very dangerous. And he could lead the Red Sox possibly deep into the postseason this year. Garrett Cole is going to start him out with a slider down and away for a strike. Garrett Cole is just needing to get out of this unscathed. Throw him a fastball high and tight, but he will hammer it off of the green monster. And Starling Marte will crash up against the wall. There will be no chance to get him at home as he will come in safely and Bogarts will provide a 2-out RBI double to put the Red Sox up early. Later in the fourth, Starling Marte will hit one off the Green Monster himself, answering back, and he will cruise into second easy with a leadoff double to start off the inning. Later on, with McCutchen up to the plate and Marte at third, McCutchen looking for something to hit. He will bang one the opposite way, and that just keeps carrying. McCutchen will get a ground rule double and trade places with Marte at second. Later on in the inning, Josh Bell will hit another ground ball, and Bogarts Rangers again will get out Josh Bell. What an incredible game Bogarts is having already. Next inning, Hanley Ramirez will bang one off the Green Monster again. We got a lot of Green Monster shots today. And he'll get into second with his first double of the season. Into the fifth, Starling Marte up to the plate, and he will chase one to leave two runners on base. Into the bottom of the fifth, Sandy Leone will see a slider hung by Garrett Cole, and he will just hammer it. You can't leave sliders up in the zone like that against these big league hitters. They're too dangerous, and that's just what's going to happen. Cole knows he made a mistake, and the Red Sox are making him pay right now. Too many missed pitches for him, and they're just hitting him really hard. Next up, later on in the inning, Hanley Ramirez will take him deep again, and Garrett Cole does not look like he's got his usual stuff. Hanley Ramirez with his second extra base hit of the game, first home run of the year. The Red Sox lineup just proven to be too tough a task right now for Garrett Cole. Usually you could see him getting some good outings against teams like this. You'd want him to be doing a lot better, but he just doesn't have his stuff today. Later on that inning, Jackie Bradley Jr. will take him deep one more time, and that'll be it for Garrett Cole. Rough outing for him. Hopefully he can bounce back in the next one, but this just wasn't his day. Bradley Jr.'s first home run of the year. He's trying to have a very solid second season after that incredible first season and prove why that Red Sox outfield is so incredible. Into the sixth, McCutchen will hit one off the monster himself, and he will get into second base, leaving two runners in scoring position for Josh Bell. As you take a look at this, McCutchen having an incredible day with two doubles already. Josh Bell up to the plate, and he will hit one up the middle. A line drive, and the throw will be offline, and Josh Bell's heading to second, and an off throw gets him in there. Josh Bell coming up clutch with runners in scoring position to score two. The Pittsburgh Pirates only trail 3-7. But now Pablo Sandoval up to the plate. He will take one deep off of Wade LeBlanc. You just know it's not your day when Pablo Sandoval is taking you deep. He had a very poor 2016 year. Hopefully for him, he can try and get back to his former self, but I just don't see it. So unfortunately, LeBlanc gives up that home run. Into the eighth we go. Starling Marte will get a fastball over the middle of the plate from Sale, and he'll just crush it. He's watching it all the way. He knows it's gone. And that'll be Marte's first home run of the year. Looking like the top half of Pittsburgh's lineup is doing incredible this year. And that could be one positive that the Pirates could take from this game. They know their stars are showing up. Marte and McCutchen had incredible days. Harrison had a very solid day as well. And if both of them could do well, then it could be crucial to contention. Later on that inning, the runners on first and second, Freese will ground out. And then later in the ninth, Hembry will strike out Starling Marte to end off the game. and the Red Sox will win 8-4. Very impressive game from the Red Sox, and their batting lineup just proved to be too much for us to contend with. Taking a look at the box score, like I said, Marte, Harrison, and McCutchen had very solid days. Bell did well. That single was one of the bright spots for the day. But Garrett Cole was just very poor. Leaves the game with a 13.5 ERA. And the Red Sox, you can see all those hits. A lot of home runs. And they just had some power today. 4 home runs in total. What can you say? Tip their cap to them, and hopefully we can get them in the next game. But that's about gonna do it. I'm out. This has been Primetime Gaming. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.